You're listening to From Find to Fabulous podcast, where we explore energy, mindset, spirituality, and all things woo. I'm Michelle, here with Dylan and Wright, and together we are on this journey with all of you to transform our lives from mundane to magical. Hello, everyone. I am Michelle, and I am here with Wright and Dylan, and we are super, super excited to be starting this new podcast. We
Yes.
are definitely new at podcasting, but we're going to give it a go and hope for the best.
Heck yeah.
So we're going to just kind of introduce ourselves and talk about why we wanted to do the podcast.
Yeah. Um, I'll go first, I guess. I'm Dylan, and I got excited to start the podcast because when I worked with Michelle and Wright, we would take our lunch breaks and talk about very interesting topics and positivity and energy and spirituality and all those types of things. And they were good conversations. So I felt like turning it into a media platform and sharing it with the world. What about you, Wright?
I'm right. And I joined Michelle and Dylan in doing this because I thought we had so much fun at work. Why not, take it to the next level and share it with you guys? Looking forward to, seeing what happens and what becomes of this. And I'm excited about it.
Same.
I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah,
Definitely. It's going to be a new adventure for all of us.
true.
So, as I said before, my name is Michelle. And I think the reason that I want to do this podcast is because I just love to help people. And when we're at work and we have these different conversations, or if somebody's having a hard time with anything, whether it's work related or personal related, it doesn't really matter.
Mm,
Having conversations with people and just trying to help them through whatever struggle it is, or a thought pattern maybe that's keeping them stuck in an old way, or
yes.
um, old beliefs or things like that that just kind of keep you stagnant and not moving forward or kind of drag you down.
Hmm.
Um, so helping people reach their highest potential, all of that stuff is what truly, truly lights me up. I think it's just ingrained in who I am from a really young age. I was a helper, I guess, of people. Even from the time I was in kindergarten, we had a girl in the class who didn't know her ABCs, and I
Oh,
would stay in at recess with her to review with her because, I didn't want her to feel left behind or that she wasn't achieving what everybody else was achieving. And so I just really wanted to help her. So I really think it's just, part of my nature is to help people see their amazingness, their fabulousness, their potential, really.
And
yeah.
I think that's one of the things that, I can like feel coming from you. Just a genuine person. And I think that's what made
Hmm.
work enjoyable. And
Yeah.
not only that, conversations we had were enjoyable as well.
Yeah,
And I
very
know you
true.
mentioned before, Michelle, you had some life coach training.
Yes, I did actually go through life coach training. I completed it in 2019. And I tell you what, I learned so much about myself and about what triggers people in general. Um, Apparently, we all have an uh, ongoing thought or belief within us that keeps us, I guess, for lack of a better word, stuck.
Like trapped.
Yeah, trapped, stuck in the same kind of patterns over and over again. Um, and actually, doing the life coach training actually is what kind of was a catalyst for opening me up to a whole bunch of variety of different things, including spirituality and just groundedness, meditation, all of those kinds of things. So
Hmm.
prior to doing that, I had never even considered any of that type of things. And so, I think our vision collectively for this podcast is not necessarily to be a life coaching um, podcast, but we will probably hit on some topics and things that we struggle with in our personal lives. But I think, we'll talk about some of the mystical things too that,
Hmm.
aren't necessarily mainstream things like spirits.
Oh,
angels,
that's scary.
spirit guides,
I've never
tarot.
seen those.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's all kinds of things. We'll talk about energy and our frequency and our mindsets, and
Hmm.
I think all kinds of different topics. And we're also excited for our listeners out there who have any questions or suggestions or anything that they might want to hear us discuss, to send it in. We have an email that can be accessed. It's Michelle at fromfindtofab.com. That's Michelle with two L's. And also, comments can be left on YouTube or however you want to get in contact with us, because we're really, really interested in what our listeners also think about some of these topics that we're planning to discuss. We're excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, same. And hearing that you only recently in life got into the spiritual stuff. The whole time I've known you, you've been magical. So it's hard to think of you as any other person.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing, honestly, how all of that happened, because, you know, it was never something that crossed my mind,
Yeah.
um, that it was a thing or that I considered, or I guess that I connected with or even had an awareness about.
Right.
But now that I do, I can think back to things in my childhood that definitely were related, but it didn't occur to me back then. I guess maybe back then it wasn't a thing like it is now. I feel
Right.
like today more and more people are opening to more of these kind of topics that,
Mhm.
people just didn't talk about before. And so, yeah, I think we have a lot of ideas for episodes to come up and in the future. And I think we're going to just jump in and start discussing some of these things. And we really can't wait to see what you guys think.
Heck yeah.
Looking forward to it.
All right.
Thank you so much for joining us for this episode. We are truly grateful for each of you. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to follow us on whatever platform you are listening. If you're listening on a podcast platform, please consider leaving a review. If you're listening on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're alerted when new episodes are released. Please also leave comments. We would love to know what you think. You can also share this with someone that you think might enjoy our content. Any interaction with the channel truly helps it grow. You can also email us at michelle@fromfindtofab.com, and that's Michelle with two L's. Until next time, be fabulous. This podcast is meant for entertainment purposes only. We are not medical, legal, or financial professionals, so always consult a qualified expert before making any changes to your life.